hey, okay. Freak, nigga. Hey, when they come around, it's freak, nigga. She got a man, but I'm the one she tryna creep with. Right. Can't get my addy if you cannot hold a secret. Don't think you special, this is your day of the week, bitch. Best to hope you keep it. 2020 freak, nigga. She got a man, but I'm the one she tryna creep with. Can't get my addy if you cannot hold a secret. Don't think you special, this is your day of the week, bitch. Oh, what? Hey. So we here in Nijmegen cooling. And as usual, I like to bring you guys, people that I find not only chill because I have to sit in a room for them for about 30 minutes, but they serve some type of purpose to the entertainment life or things like that. So today I brought Mr. Simon on, and he's here to talk about his life. He does a pretty interesting aspect in Nijmegen where he kind of brings the dirty paperwork to the music industry. he does the behind the scenes things to make sure events and things like that pop. Also artist recognition, things like that. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
Shit, man. That was a whole lot of an introduction, man.
Oh, no worries.
I'm from here. This is my city. Born and raised.
Born and raised?
Yeah.
Cool, man. Have you always had like an inclination to music?
That's a crazy question because I do think I have had. I can distinctly remember some parts of my youth when I was always whistling, always using my voice.
Banging on a drum or something?
Not per se. It was always like vocal.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why.
So you were more like out loud. Like, did your parents hate you?
No, but my neighbors did.
Like, shut that boy up.
Yeah. You know that weird age when your voice starts to crack?
Yeah, when your balls drop?
Yeah, it was like a symphony for me. No, it was great. But so yeah, I guess so. But I started off as a dancer actually.
Okay.
I did a lot of
what style of dancing was it though?
Yeah, it was modern jazz, classical ballet, like acrobatics, breakdance.
Acrobatics, like were you swinging from the trapeze? Or
yeah, no, we did like the flips and such.
Okay, nice.
I did
so like tumbling, you can get with that.
I could get with that. That was like a long time ago.
Yeah, back in the gym.
yeah. I did that till I was 18, 19 or something like that.
Nice.
27 now, so it's been a while.
That's cool. So you've always been kind of creative. Yep. Me personally, I got into music kind of late. Like I didn't start really doing music till I was 23. But I've always been in like choir or something in the church. Like, did your parents ever have you doing anything like that? Did they let you explore your talent?
Yeah, of course. We have like a place right here that's called the Lindenberg.
Oh, okay.
Which is like a cultural center.
The one here in the city center.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the big
nice.
ass building.
Nice.
I did like all the courses there. I tried everything.
You were the man up there. Is that where you did your acrobatics as well?
No, yeah, I started there. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
And then I grew to Arnhem. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, so I did.
So
a lot
were
of
you like too big for Nijmegen at that point? You had to like.
No, it was like how do you call this? Like a vooropleiding, so like an education before your education.
Yeah.
For dancer at the Artis.
Okay.
In Arnhem. So no, I didn't become too big for Nijmegen, but I got courses.
Yeah,
and those were in Arnhem.
They just happened to be in Arnhem.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Well, hey, shout out to Lindenberg for providing opportunities for the youth in Nijmegen to get it in. I think it's cool how cultural the Netherlands is. Because from an outsider's perspective, when I come here, I mean, you're in Amsterdam. Literally every other person has a guitar or a trombone or some shit in their hand.
Yeah, that's true.
And the longer I'm here, the more I dive into the music industry here, I notice that the government provides a lot of opportunities for artists to be artists. Because in America, you tell your parents, I want to be an artist, they think you're going to be struggling for the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. Like, no, that's not a good idea. I still struggle telling some people that in my family. But in the Netherlands, it's like, no, you guys can find ways of getting funding and things like that. So my question to you is, how long have you been, or before I ask you how long, what exactly is your role here in the music industry in this area of Gelderland?
My role in the music industry.
Yeah, like what do you do? I know for those who don't know, you work for an organization called Poppunt Gelderland.
Yeah, and Cultuur Oost. Cultuur Oost.
And Cultuur Oost. Is that out of Arnhem? Yeah. Do it. Technical check. Yeah.
I just had to show the audience my ass for like
ass check. Yo, and before we go any further, I just want to say I don't know when this is going to come out, but this was filmed in late March, and so I just hope the corona situation has gotten better by the time this comes out.
Or or this is going to be a crazy piece of work in the post-apocalyptic society.
Exactly.
Cult movies are going to be made about this conversation, man.
Like when shit was still good.
Yeah.
Oh man, I've been trying not to talk about the coronavirus to people because it's all you fucking hear about. But I as you mentioned, like I gotta get this on footage. I got it.
Yeah, of course. We have the 1.5 meter distance between us, so we're great.
See, he set this up, so he was already ahead of the game.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
But Cultuur Oost, is that out of Arnhem?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I thought I've seen that name before. What is that exactly? Or maybe you want to explain both of them. Like what?
Yeah, I'll explain both of them. For like, this is a 3-part story. I'll try to keep it snappy. But
sure.
Let's start with like Cultuur Oost.
Sure.
You know, I'm a bit of that guy that has his university degrees on the wall.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Because I'm kind of a nerd.
You deserve that shit.
Always been. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
But I like to delve deeper, and I like to search for like the policy behind things, like why, when you go to a show in the Netherlands or when you perform yourself, most of the times you can see like that there's some government money behind that.
Okay.
Unless it's very DIY.
Okay.
Which is also great, but I always wondered like how do these systems work that make it so that we can do our thing as artists. We can record, we can have Sena, Buma, mastering, mixing, videos. Like how can this guy have a company and I pay him and he makes my music video and I release that through a platform and I have my rights in order, independent entrepreneurship as a musician was always a very a thing that I always thought was very cool. And you see like the structures behind that, the government structures. So I studied psychology and educational science.
Okay, very different from music.
Yeah, I always tried to weave that music into what I do.
Yeah,
I think
like
that's
how you can use it for that aspect.
Yeah, so I think that's a center thread in this story. Like, I see myself. I open this conversation with saying I'm a nerd because I am a nerd at heart.
Yeah,
but I'm also.
That's how you feeling?
But I'm also a musician, and those two things, I can't really let that go or something like that. When people ask me, "Hey, it's good you have a hobby" or something like that. There's no harm in that.
They kill you with that shit. It's like,
well, I just say the most douchey thing to say then, but it's completely true. Is it's not a hobby, it's a passion.
Yeah.
Even if I wanted to quit, I can't.
Yeah.
Because it's
I think that's like the defining thing. If you can, a lot of people want to do music, but it's like I can't just quit. I just can't like look back at what all I've done and been like, yeah, I'm done now. It's hard. Sometimes I think like, what haven't I done? But then it's like, no, I got to find something else.
Yeah. You see, that's the thing, because before you made the parallel with the States, that you're struggling there as a musician because there is not that much like government aid maybe available. I don't know the situation. I would love to hear about it though.
I never was actually a musician in the States.
Yeah.
I didn't start making music until I moved to Australia.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Australia also has a good policy on culture.
Is there?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But so with your example of the Dutch people, everybody has a guitar and such.
Yeah.
That's because I think the Dutch are generally pretty passionate people that just nurture passions. Like, I can do this.
Y'all
also
with
because we have a ridiculous amount of wealth here, but also because
I think also like y'all's parents get behind it. Like your family's like supportive. Like, okay, that's possible. Cool. Like you wanna do that? Fine. Like the government will help you out until you figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the gist.
I think it makes it better for them. Hold on, it's really bothering me because my camera beeped a second ago. I want to make sure it's still working.
Yeah, no problem.
After brief technical checks, damn, nothing's working right these days. So that was you described why you got into it, but what is Cultuur Oost?
Cultuur Oost is one of those organizations that's government funded. We are funded by the province of Gelderland.
Okay.
That has the explicit, how do you call it?
Rights?
Opdracht? No, not rights, but like the task.
Yeah.
To form a vision about cultural policy, to have knowledge in-house for organizations, for artists, for governments, for everybody, to be like a central hub of policy input.
Policy meaning like how things are gonna go, or like what the event list is gonna look like for the year. Like what
No,
policy?
yeah, like the step behind that,
Okay.
like who gets the money to make event lists for a year, and what kind of
Oh,
events
so that's
are
like
preferred.
gatekeeper.
No, not like that. Not like that. We don't have any power, so to
Okay.
say. Power on our expertise.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like just see it. No, I work in an office.
Mm-hmm.
Most people are pretty old, like older than me.
Yeah.
A couple of young people.
They don't
now.
know the hottest hip hop songs.
No, they don't know. No. Their kids know. No, their kids.
Yeah,
know.
of course.
And what we do is we keep on tabs with what's going on in the province for the other government-funded organizations and the entrepreneurs that
Yep.
do it ourselves.
Yep.
The independent
sector.
Artists, we check out what's going on, and we follow trends nationally and internally. But you can really see it as just we write a lot about how governments should act on the trends in culture,
Okay.
and we give a lot of expertise. I just told you off camera, there was a task by our Minister of Education, Culture and Science.
Mm-hmm.
She said last year we need to do more with the urban arts and culture.
Yeah.
Now that's Tyler the Creator recently said the word urban is just another way of saying the N-word, because it's exclusionary in a sense.
True.
This is just pop that we do. And I fully agree with that, but it is the playfield that I'm on.
Yeah.
Like I try to play that game.
I think we should kind of recognize that hip hop is in the last 2 or 3 years became the world's most popular genre, and so it can be considered pop music. I mean, the things that happen in hip hop are labeled cool. I mean, I seen this. It was like 2 years ago. I seen like a Gucci runway show, and they were wearing those like ridiculous ass space boots that are like the Lil Yachty wears and shit. And I'm like, I can't believe like they are stunting right now at this shit.
Yeah,
because nobody looks like they listen to rap music, but that is the shit that's in a rap video. And so yeah, do you think that how much influence do you think comes from, because I'm not going to say the hip-hop culture in the Netherlands jocks American swag all the way, but how much influence do you think is from there? Do you think like there's a lot of like Dutch hip-hop can stand on its own?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah?
I do. It's a touchy subject though.
Okay.
Because just, hip-hop is also very much about authenticity. Like who's real, who's not real. At least I come from a time.
Yeah, we okay.
You come from a time that was like a real thing.
Yeah, it mattered.
I'm not so much concerned with that right now because it's pop culture. Hip hop is from everybody now. Everybody has claim on it. We do need to respect the roots, but that doesn't mean you have to respect that in practice.
Yeah.
Like you can just roll with it. But to answer your question, yeah, I do think there's a lot of Dutch hip hop that can really stand on its own. I even dare as to go so far that we really have a distinct style here that is like maybe a blend of, as we call in Dutch, I don't know, man, like almost troubadour like music.
That sounds French.
It is.
Okay.
Like,
what does that mean, troubadour? Though?
Yeah, how do you say? Like a teller of stories. It's storytelling.
Ah, okay, I like that.
Troubadour used to be the guy that goes from place to place,
telling stories with his little bagpipe and shit.
Exactly.
Ah, okay, that's tight.
So I don't want to make it folky right now, but I do want to say that there is a real thing with the Dutch and literacy and poetry, and when hip hop came, a lot more people had like a way of doing that. And well, that at some point commercialism caught on, and now we have a very good blooming. Very proud of that. Like really pop sector of hip hop.
Yeah,
right? That's
I
real
wanted
pop
to
shit.
ask you about that because I feel a lot of like Germany, Netherlands, French, like the main hip hop cultures you see, they've got that like old school vibe. Like it's like it's more like 90s, 80s, whereas like but then they do start to have like the newer style hip hop culture. I just wish that I spoke Dutch so I can know what the hell they're talking about. Like I think that's the thing like killing me these days, because like I really want to be hearing, because I'm also from that era where like I was big on lyrics. When I write my songs, I care about my lyrics, but like I know they're snapping to a beat, but is their producer saving their ass right now
in Dutch hip hop?
I mean, it's everybody's hip hop, so it's not even a question. Like, I'm not. Even
I think the current day hip hop is very producer driven. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
for sure.
think so. Yeah, and I think the rapper is to a certain extent interchangeable.
Yeah, man. I forgot.
But that's not hating though. I'm not hating on people. You know,
No,
I used to hate. I used to think
No.
that's whack. You know, but fuck that because.
No.
You know, it's almost like you could put in a great saxophone player, or you could put in a great rapper.
Yeah, because session musicians are interchangeable.
Yeah.
But session musicians aren't the forefront of the show.
No, and that's where, you know, maybe I have more a problem with that, but not so much a problem, but thoughts about that.
I have a problem.
You know, the image is very important.
I have a problem with how the industry takes it because, like, the label will look at it that way. Like, if you're not performing fine, I will just shelf you and have another one of you next week. It's okay.
Yeah. I think that's a very interesting point because we were talking about Cultuur Oost, and in our work, also for Poppunt, you know, the industry is always going to be there.
Yeah.
And that's fine. You know, it's also a driving force in some ways, maybe in a lot of important ways.
Sure.
I just feel like when you make a choice here in the Netherlands, like, I want to play guitar for a living, Ma.
Yeah.
And she says, that's fine, son. But, you know, it has a risk. But I see a lot of guitarists, I see a lot of musicians generally that could just, you know, they could make a living with scrapping by doing some
gigs here and
there.
Yeah.
You know. For hip hop, that's just a lot harder.
It's a lot tougher.
Yeah, and I think we live in a day and age that this is just the dominant cultural stream.
Yeah.
So government get in on that and make sure that those mid-careers, that the people that are not going to make it big in the industry waves can still make
survive
good music.
Yeah.
No, not survive. You're not keeping people afloat, but you're making sure that a culture can develop.
Okay.
And not just in the commercially way, but also in the inhoud.
I kind of like the middle stage, like where just like the traveling artist who's he's not surviving, but he's making a living doing what he loves.
Yeah, and he makes good music.
Yeah,
he also, or she also pushes the culture forward,
and
because she doesn't have the commercial belangen,
like the commercial like route they wanted to pursue.
Yeah, because you just said, if you don't do this, then we'll have another one by the end of the week.
Yeah,
and that's true, I think, and that. It's more of a top-down process, right? There is a course, and you adhere to that course.
Yeah, like that motto, like you stick to the script.
Very roughly speaking.
Yeah.
Very roughly speaking, but I do feel what you say.
I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to address why live hip hop really isn't so big in the Netherlands. Like online it's popping. I mean, you will find a million rappers, but like I very seldomly, and maybe it's just in the areas of Nijmegen, Utrecht, Amsterdam that I go, I don't see that many live hip hop shows of Dutch people.
Yeah.
From what I understand, there's a lot popping it's mostly popping in Rotterdam. But then other than that, you guys, what's up with that? Like, do you feel that there's enough, not enough?
Astute observations, my sir.
Okay.
Yeah, you're completely right. And we really see that as one of the biggest challenges in not just in my work, but also like in being an artist. Yeah, you're completely right. Why that is a multitude of factors, because there is still a big prejudice about live hip hop.
Okay.
When you go into the province away from the Randstad.
Yeah. Tell the people what the Randstad is, because we're not all Dutch.
The Randstad is the conglomeration of cities in the west of the Netherlands.
So it's like Rotterdam,
Amsterdam, Utrecht, The Hague, and I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, Haarlem maybe.
Okay.
But you know that.
So basically, all the ports where the coke come in at.
Yeah. Well, that's mostly Rotterdam, but still, though. And Antwerp, but that's Belgium. But anyhow, in the Randstad, they have. I forgot my point, mate.
I was asking. You were talking about the culture down in the Randstad, why the live hip hop.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Maybe except the Randstad, but all the other places in the Netherlands, when you go there and you say I'm doing live hip hop, a lot of venues will still say, "Oh, so we should have extra security."
Oh, really?
Oh, so we should just change nothing about the way we promote the gig.
Really?
So let me start about the security thing. There's still a prejudice that hip hop tears up the place and has a bad rap.
Hoodlums and shit like that.
Hoodlums.
Yeah.
With the recent notifications about drill rap in the media, doesn't help.
No.
It has been proven that is not the case anymore. We had a time in the 90s, early 2000s that people were fucking up. and of course people still fuck up now, but the culture has grown up that we say to each other as artists from, yo, dude, don't do that because you're hurting us all. They're not going to book us anymore. Yeah. So that's good.
So you're saying like the hip hop artists of the past had like a factor in why like today's hip hop is not so popular.
No. I'm just saying that there still lives a rap under the venues, under some venues, so smaller venues.
Sure.
Small mid-level hip hop, not the pros are pros.
Yeah.
Do good, but everything below that, we don't know you, and you might tear up the place.
Yeah, you come in. I see what you mean. It's like you come in with.
Should we have extra security? So that's more costs for us, and you already. So no, we're not gonna do it.
Damn.
So that and the venues, when you book a band, right? Even I'm just gonna say it, corny cover band.
Sure.
And you just put a poster up in the window, and you do a post on Facebook. Then you'll have a decent
turnout.
Decent turnout. Yeah. They think that model also applies to the pop music from now that mostly young digital natives listen to. Yeah. That, you could market that the same way. So they have one guy or girl on the marketing, and I hear a lot of people, I hung up the poster and nobody came, and I'm like, yeah, but dude,
that's it, shorty.
And this is the core of it, right? You have the music industry and the biz, as we call that, like the structurally funded organizations that should create a blooming cultural sector, right? Those people are still dominated, of those organizations are still dominated to some extent by this way of thinking.
Like the old methods. And
they just didn't come. Hip hop is more than just music, and it's a lifestyle. You were just saying with your Trapathon.
Camp Trapathon.
Camp Trapathon. Shout out to that. But that's just I think that's a real example of the hip hop mentality, right? You just do that. Yeah. And you don't know what it's going to give you, but you just do that because you got to hustle.
Yeah, you got to fucking hustle. You got to hit them, got to trap, shawty.
You got to trap. And that way of thinking, that's just not yet in the sectors that sit on the piles of cash and have like the studios. And of course there is, it's not that black and white, but it could be more.
Oh, we have a visitor. Come on in. Come on in.
Yes. Hello?
Yeah. Hey, you gotta come say hey to the camera now. You messed up the podcast. You gotta be in it. Say hey. Sorry. Say hey.
We got our roommates.
What's your name?
Joining the party.
What's your... Don't tell me you came because you heard the dog was here.
Yeah.
Y'all heard that? Here, take him.
Tony T coming in.
Yo, classic diamond move right now.
Classic. Oh God.
Hope he's making your day right now.
How old is he?
Oh, he's 4 years old.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw.
Diamond? Like on the ring. Diamond. Or y'all would say Diamond.
Hey, who's making pancakes?
I'm telling you, that thing smells sweet out there.
Lars is making his famous pancakes.
Y'all can take them with you, but we gotta finish cutting this podcast.
We can take it?
Yeah. Just don't leave the house. Yeah. Give him some water, please, like in a bowl. Thank you, Will. Dewey.
You just made their day, bro. These girls have nothing to do all day long.
Damn. Yeah, because everybody's all quarantined and shit. That's funny. That's
just
funny.
Made their day.
Wow. Okay, back to... I love that was on camera. Back to the podcast.
Yeah.
So you were saying, basically, what your objective nowadays is to come to a realization with the powers to be that like hip hop needs to have a stance in today's like culture.
Yeah, and that's what I call cultural policy. Like I want people on those places that know what they're talking about, and they're not creating a top-down structure from we think you need this.
Yeah,
like a lot of times you still see that hip hop is being used to save the disadvantaged youth, right? And that's great. That's a great thing to think that you can do that, but it's already in the culture.
Yeah.
If you make it so explicit, then it's only gonna be that.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's like going around the hood and being like, "Yo, kid, you want these free basketballs?" It's like,
and then it's a shitty basketball, and they don't make sure that some guy is gonna scout the hood and see if there's some actual talent. They just give the basketball.
They just give it up.
So it's like mirrors and pearls, or mirrors and that's really harsh to say.
That's interesting. Like I never would have thought that was a thing as well. I'm glad that we could talk about that. Another thing, like you mentioned it off camera, is how you feel that in the Netherlands, the powers to be, they don't necessarily come from the culture of hip hop.
No, they don't.
No. Do you feel like that could ever change? Like,
definitely.
Because we also talked about like their kids know hip hop. And I find like in the media, that's kind of a way of like marketing nowadays. Like I hear that in like movies and TV shows based around the music industry. It's like, yo, go sway his daughter. And then now we got this record deal. I think that's kind of cool. But the people in the Netherlands who make like the decisions, are they like a hella old? Like, are they like Rothschild old? Or are they just like kind of...
Nah, they're not Rothschild old, but they're like older.
Yeah, and they're just not in the know.
No, and they really do a good job. I'm not talking shit about them.
We were never saying that. Yeah.
They do a really good job in what they do and what their expertise is. But you just have the reality that the majority of the young people, but also people in their 40s, grew up in this culture.
Yeah.
And if you keep on pushing a rock state mentality or a electronic dance state mentality, then you're gonna lose a lot of people.
But you mentioned a scenario where the clubs promote this event. In today's age, don't you feel the promoters do most of the promoting nowadays?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so you feel like the club doesn't appreciate that because they don't know that they're not used to the promoter doing most of the work. Like they don't really trust the promoter.
Can you explain this difference between the club and the promoter? How do you see that?
So what I would think of is like when I say club, I mean like Dorn Roja.
Yeah.
And then the promoter would be like Chocolat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean obviously Dorn Roja fucks with Chocolat hard, but like let's say they were at another town, you think that they would be more preemptive to work with them because they're not used to how they would bring people into the club?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
But also not that harsh because a smaller city like Deventer has a good, cool party. Cool urban party. So every city has that now.
They got their own.
So that's
swags.
good. The thing is, I got to be real with you. That also chocolate is by people like Bram is one of my best friends way back, and Jason is a really good friend of mine right now.
Shout out.
And I'm not gonna, no, fuck those guys. They're friends of mine. But we are also a certain type of individual in this. I'm not really a social justice warrior like that, but I do think that we are the guys from Nijmegen Oost.
Okay.
That have like a very, I'm just gonna say white bubble that we're in.
Okay.
So the Roosje and the venues, they fucks heavily with the people that see that culture and take it with them and do good shit with that, But it's just a part because the people that I also roll with from a little bit further from the city center, they won't visit that much, and they want something else.
Yeah.
Which is great, but then you have a lot of people in charge to say, yeah, but we got chocolate. But they don't feel a connection with that. And then I say, well, then they should also have a chance of putting something
like their own,
and not from coochie coo, you can try, but no, you're a serious partner.
Yeah,
because we are lacking shit here. If you look at Rotterdam and Amsterdam and Utrecht, we could do a lot better.
Yeah, I think so.
And we have the people with that knowledge here, but they don't, and that's also their responsibility. They don't know the ways to these places yet. Because I know for a fact that if, somebody different would ask, I want to do something, that's possible.
Yeah.
There's nobody that's then going to say right now, no, we don't know you, go away.
We don't know about that one.
But what will happen, yeah, of course, come on in. You can have a chance. And then they come in, and then I'm going to be real, but they don't, most of the times they don't have the know-how about how these systems
How
work.
to execute it.
So then it's maybe sometimes doomed to fail, But then people can always say, yeah, we tried, but, it didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have parties like Cultuur Oost and Poppunt also now that say, we're just going to help them as good we can.
Let's connect these dots for you.
Let's connect these dots for you, but you still got to do it. But we're just going to help you in the background.
I think that's very important. And like when I learned about the kind, like this is the kind of work you did, that's why I wanted to have you on the show, because it's important for the people, the young viewers. I like to pander to people coming up, like in the music industry. Like they need to know that there are opportunities out there, whether it's in Nijmegen or in Atlanta or whatever. Like there's an organization out there to help you like come the fuck up.
Yeah. And it's not community work, because we really try to strive. You are going to be somebody that can like maybe earn a living for 10 years, 20 years from this.
Yeah.
And you got to do it.
Like a career path.
Yeah. And we take people seriously. It's not like, oh, you have a nice hobby, you want to come do this? No, it's like for real. You want to do this? Let's go.
Before I want to ask you something about because you currently are working with a group that's bringing live hip hop to the Netherlands scene. But I want to ask you, give me like one or two more reasons why you don't think live hip hop is as big as it should be in the Netherlands.
Yeah, that's what we were on.
Yeah.
Well, you have the prejudice.
Yeah.
And I also think that a lot of the live hip hop is like it's a mostly digital platform.
Yeah.
It's not so much live.
So you're saying it's too many internet rappers?
I don't know. Tony, I don't really know what I'm saying, but hear me out on this one.
Okay.
Right? Because I do think that because it's so producer driven, it's so image driven, the culture right now, that it is much better to create a stylized image of yourself.
Okay.
So you make a video.
Yeah.
And that's your stage, right? But
yeah.
going live, touring, let's be honest, it's a grind.
Yeah.
It's just a grind.
Yeah.
And you really have to do it. And it's even more of a grind when you're in a CB venue and it's half empty.
Yeah. But
so, and I think that is keeping young rappers and young producers from thinking, you know what, I just want to tour. I want to go on the road as quickly as possible. That's what I think.
But like, yeah, I mean, I see what you mean by like creating a style online because it's easier for a million people to see you on their phone than to see you in live. But like,
plus you earn a lot more.
But at some point, you have to go on tour because you got to start making money. Like, I mean, those streams can only look cool for so long.
But those streams earn you a lot of money.
Yeah, but like,
unless you're in the A circuit, like
with the filling arenas.
Yeah, or no. Let's start with filling Doornroosje, the big zaal.
Yeah.
Then you can earn some good money with that, but nobody starts there.
Yeah, of course nobody starts there. Well, I mean, even like, yeah, of course nobody starts there. But when I mean like the live hip hop scene, I feel like in Nijmegen, besides the Action Party, I have never seen any live hip hop shows in Nijmegen.
Oh.
I've seen one like Rap Circle at Underbrook. Shout out to Underbrook. But other than that, no, I've never seen any. Right. Yeah, and so like,
well, you should check out the Poppunt agenda then when it goes live.
The which one?
The Poppunt Gelderland agenda. We're working on a website that bundles all these things.
Oh, sweet as.
You could check out a lot there.
Say it one more time. Poppunt what?
Poppunt Gelderland.
Yeah. Poppunt Gelderland. Right? Yeah.
But you have that. It's coming back. We are not only me.
I heard about your
really
wintertuin sessie.
Wintertuin sessie.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later as well. Right. But I dropped a hint. So thank you for your tips of why you think that live hip hop isn't a thing in the Netherlands.
One more thing to that
sure.
story is that I think that there is it's also like a cultural thing, like in the culture with the youths. Because when I was young, I just used to go to concerts because they were there. Yeah. Right. So it's a 2-part thing. So you can organize those concerts, but then the youth still has to have like, oh, those things are actually fun. I should go to that.
I'm glad you hit on that because my speculation, my take on it is that I feel that they're accustomed to seeing the DJ.
Mm-hmm.
They either want to see Drake or they want to see somebody DJing Drake or maybe versing his lyrics as an MC.
Yeah.
And so they're not accustomed to like their cousin being a rapper coming up or their neighbor who's like actually grinding and is like putting in the work.
They don't.
They just see it as like, oh, you just want to be like that guy, and so I'm not gonna fucking support you.
So that's why you see two things here in the Netherlands. The first thing you see is that a lot of the rappers are starting to make their music for the clubs.
Yeah.
So when they perform, it's just the DJ is spinning the whole night and the rapper performs for 15 minutes because you don't want to do that in a club.
That's the strip club method, yeah.
The strip club method. Thank you. So that is big right now.
Okay.
And the second thing is the rappers who don't want to do that, they form a band.
Okay.
And they adhere to the the powers that be, like the system that's here. Then you can play festivals. Then you can play clubs, not so much, but you can, so those are two.
You can work that route.
Yeah. But that does mean that all the rappers that do want to work with beats and do want to just make hip hop or like really hard street hip hop, not so much, man. They really can't perform that much. So it's like two things: the really commercial pop scene, and the whitewashed band scene.
I'll never forget the time.
This is your podcast, right?
It's cool. It's cool. I'll never forget the time we was at. It was me and my homegirl. She's just like Cubana, a German shawty, so she's got fair skin. So basically, these two black people at this the street festival in Nijmegen, and these people came up and took a picture of us, and like we just had to film that they took a picture of us because we were the only black people there.
Really?
Yeah, bro. It was like
they really did that.
Bro. Like that was the vibe because like if you look at all the pictures, like we were literally the only ones. They weren't taking pictures of anybody else.
So what party was it?
It was I can't remember there, but Braum was there. But it was in front of Driga Sisters, one for like I think in front of like the Fair Dogs or some shit like that. It was like a Latin vibes kind of party.
Oh yeah.
So there was all these black people on stage, but no black people in the crowd.
Yeah, exactly. That is Nijmegen.
Yeah,
but there do actual black people live here.
Yeah, dude. That's like if you look at who's performing, you be like, oh hell yeah. But if you look at the crowd, you're like, is this the same city?
Yeah. yeah. You're completely right.
But that's cool, man. It's like I never knock a man's hustle. But I want to slide in and talk about your get it how you live, player.
Yeah.
I want to talk about your latest creation, Axu.
My latest creation is not Axu, but I do try try to help those guys.
Well, you're because from my understanding, you're the manager.
Nah, that's another Simon.
Okay.
Simon, that's another Simon. We do talk a lot. He's a very young guy. He's 19 years old.
Well, shout out to that Simon.
Shout out Simon.
And I'm glad we just turned the camera off. Keep it. Oh, well then damn. Then fuck that route I was just talking about. But are you aware of Axu?
I'm sorry?
Are you aware of them though? Are you aware of the group?
Yeah.
Cool. So like
I booked them last week somewhere.
Nice.
For a conference.
Nice. So, were you any bit a part of like their first night? I heard it was popping.
Yeah,
I seen the videos.
Yeah, it was popping.
Yeah.
It was really great to see that because they were a bit nervous because we had Loof 2 weeks before that.
Loof?
Loof is a party by Aziz from Durham Roosje.
Okay.
You're welcome next time.
Okay, thanks.
And Loof had like between 18 and 25 maybe.
Age group?
Yeah, age group.
Okay.
And Axu had younger than that. So that's great. There are two parties that do essentially kind of the same.
Okay.
DJ with some live acts in between, but different groups, different age ranges. So
so Loof also does live shit.
Proof like,
it can work.
This can work.
Yeah.
That's great. And the Axu guys, really proud of those guys. They're really out there grinding.
Yeah.
They really remind me when I was a young lad.
I worked with a few of those boys in the studio before, and so like that's why I'm aware of them.
Yeah.
And when I first heard their idea online, I thought it was cool because it's like I said, I've never seen live hip hop in Nijmegen before, and so that was like my first time being like, okay, like this is a step in a good direction. So shout out them boys, keep grinding like you're doing.
Yeah,
that's cool, man.
But maybe for your idea, I grew up in the city, and when I was 15, between my 15th and my 20s, I think there was live hip hop like minimal twice a month here.
Oh,
And
So it was popping back then.
Yeah, it was really popping. And when you were a rapper
Mm-hmm.
and you showed promise, you could play everywhere. Like
Mm-hmm.
I played so much back then, and that's gone now.
That feeling, like
Because
that touring feeling.
well, because of the financial crisis hit pretty hard,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the first thing they cut back on.
It was like the arts
Culture
funding.
and those kind of. So that all disappeared,
Damn.
and now it's starting to creep back.
Mm-hmm.
I hope this Corona shit doesn't.
Blows over, yeah. Like
You know,
it's affecting a lot of artists recently because like their gigs are being canceled. It's kind of the start of the season or whatever.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
But-
that's harsh. A lot of people are just they see in their monthly
Their
their
funds
month's
going.
rent just evaporate.
Damn, yeah, I never thought about it like that because like like these people really grinding and that's how they get it, and now
Yeah,
they
they
can't do shit.
don't. They don't have paychecks. They don't have a loan list.
Yeah,
They
like
just,
a salary every month. Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
So what kind of advice would you give to like an upcoming artist in a sense like that? Like, or no, let me backtrack. Do you think it's important for artists to recognize the business side of the music business? Because I say that because a lot of artists, they choose to live in the low light. They choose to live in ignorance.
Yeah. I hang a lot with politicians,
Mm-hmm.
so I try to phrase this as such. It completely depends on what your goals are.
Okay.
If you want to just make music and release that, then we live in a day and an age that you can do that.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily going to cost you an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
So if you just want to do those things, then you can.
Yeah.
If you want to make a career out of it, then of course you have to know about the business side of it.
Yes.
Of course. I know a lot of people that are signed also with the big labels in the Netherlands.
Yep.
And, they do a lot of things good. If you were with a label, yeah, you go around.
Yeah,
It's
it
great.
makes it pop. They do a lot of work for you.
Yeah, that's great. But sometimes I worry, do you know what your contract entails?
Yeah, like, do you know how to collect the rest of that money?
Well,
What
it's
you gotta
not,
do for
it's
that?
not just about the money, but it's also about you as a person,
Mm-hmm.
your identity
Mm-hmm.
as an artist also. It's great. A label is also a great way to just get, the fucking rocket flying.
Yeah.
And at some point, it might be good to go independent, but to know your stuff.
Exactly.
Because what a label does could also be done by a friend group
If they know their shit. Yeah.
if they know
yeah.
their shit.
And that's why I applaud groups here in the Netherlands that do come together and work and like figure that shit out. Because I rock independent, but I think if I had a team who really knew what they were doing, I'd move a lot faster.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But, that is a label,
Yeah.
and then you pay the label handsomely to do that.
Yeah, like that's kind of what the record deals are. It's like how much time am I willing to give to you in order for you to get a piece of this record of mine?
Can you explain that? Can you make that
What I meant
concrete?
is it's like how much time am I giving to you, meaning how much work am I giving to you that I'm not doing myself in exchange for a piece of the record?
Mm-hmm.
Because you could do marketing yourself, you could fund the marketing yourself,
Mm-hmm.
but you could also delegate that on to
Yeah.
the label, but then they're gonna want a piece of the record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Do you think that you asked me, do you think artists should know about the business side?
Yeah.
Then my question is, do you think an artist should do the business side?
He shouldn't necessarily. I mean, if they can do it themselves, yeah. But I always recommend somebody overviewing what if you ever somebody else doing it for you, always like check over their shit, double check what they're doing, making sure they're not skimming nothing off the
So
top.
that's a definite yes. So
Yeah.
just do it. Also,
Yeah.
when you have people doing it, you should also check it out.
At least know what's going on. That
Yeah.
way, it's not like a situation where they've been doing it for 5 years and you don't even know how to handle your accounts.
Yeah, I could feel that completely. That's a really good way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I also see a lot of artists that are just wrecks of people.
Yeah.
They can't handle their shit for nothing, but
Yeah.
they make amazing music and they are an amazing personality.
Yeah.
They generally they have great success
Mhm.
because they can do just what they're good at,
Mm-hmm.
and that's make music and be a personality.
Yeah.
They don't have to do taxes. They don't have to chase their
mean,
accounts.
I
I
mean,
think they should know.
Yeah.
I think they should know, but I worked with a lot of those free spirits that as soon as you come with a bulleted list,
Mhm.
they just cry.
Yeah.
So
And I heard it be like that, but you know, because in the music, like nobody, like say you cut a record with somebody, they don't want to talk about like, you know, like splits and shit like that. But like it should just be common knowledge that like if you want to do business with me, the prerequisite is we have to talk about how much money everybody's getting.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand creatives, they just want to be creative and shit. Yeah. But in my aspect, you're setting yourself up for failure. Like you're setting yourself up.
But failure in what way?
Failure in someone to take advantage of you. Financially. Yeah. Which financially, like, I mean, money isn't everything, but if you're a musician, like you can only be a musician for so long. That lifestyle that you're living is only going to last so long. And if you're so successful.
Could change, though. Could change.
What could change?
Don't you think like rappers are going to be like the blues musicians? The old blues musicians.
Yeah, because the longer rappers stay in the game, the more they start saying shit like I say, like they start having moral values.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But what I'm saying, though, is that like decisions that they make when they're stupid affect them later on, like Lil Wayne. Like Lil Wayne, his record deal when he was 16, 17 held him up at the tender age of 40 or whatever. You know, shit like that. And like he got lucky that he was a star so much that it didn't really matter. Yeah. But other artists, like, you know, you could... If you're a one-hit wonder, you sign the wrong paper because you don't do the business, you're fucked.
But that is like, then you start making music for the industry, because when you don't make that hit, then you're done for. And I never think that's a good strategy. I think you should just...
But what do you mean by that? Like, what, I mean, I believe you shouldn't chase trends, but what did I say made you think of that?
Well, you said like... for the people that don't make that hit, they're done, and then they are screwed over because they don't have any more money.
Nay,
and they don't.
I meant for people, we have a thing called a one-hit wonder. Like, you know what that is. I'm saying those kinds of people, their career went like this.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, once you're up there, you got all this money. It's very critical the steps that you take in life, because all that can be gone in the blink of an eye. Mm-hmm. If you really only make one song, like some people are cool with that, you know, they get out of the game. But like, I think when it comes back to the business side of things, and when they were coming up, they could have signed one wrong paper and their publishing could have went to their manager who fucked off.
Yeah. So
yeah. It's not necessarily about chasing hits. It's just more so that like, whether you're a superstar like Lil Wayne or a one hit wonder, I think you need to know the business either or.
Yeah.
Because in the long run, it's going to benefit you.
So that's your goals. If you want to stay in this business for the long run, and you actually want to make money off of it, then you should know about the business side.
Yeah, if I think personally, as long as if it's anything besides just a hobby to you, because a hobby is a skill that doesn't make you money, but if you wanted to pay your bills, you got to do it the most effective way, which means knowing your shit. Yeah, because it's like owning a business. Like I mean, I dig a lot into not tax evasion, but tax suppression.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get why businesses move their countries around. It's like, if I can get a better deal, why not?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Well, yeah, no, that's a very capitalist mindset. And that's good. That's good, you know.
It can be that way.
But it has also its drawbacks, I think.
How so?
Well, I think this is going to go to me.
Yeah.
Back to me. Like, I did it's a passion, right? Mm-hmm. I always do it next to my main thing, which is study or work. Music.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I shouldn't go hard in it.
Sure.
So I make an effort and I try to make something beautiful, something that I love. Mm-hmm. And after that, if I see people want to pay for it, then I'm going to become the capitalist. Yeah. But that's only then at the end of the process.
Sure.
Right? And I can say, you know, on camera, it's pretty good having that. It's a pretty good hustle, you know. Yeah. I could do some fun things with the money that I make off that. Mm-hmm. But it's not about that. It's mostly about doing the shit that I do.
Yeah.
So that's my goal. I just want to do what I do. And if I can make money with that, great. But I'm not going to pursue more money. You know, I'm just going to let it grow organically. Yeah. Maybe there's going to be a point that I can just say, fuck it.
For a musician, though, for somebody striving to solely live off their music, like, isn't that kind of the point, though? Isn't it? It's not necessarily make music with like the end goal of being a superstar, but making music, what I like to say is make music and recognize that like the potential for this and this and this is there. Yeah. Because if you don't, somebody else will. And it's like it's like managers. Like that the manager's whole job is to see talent in someone.
Yeah.
And they know
facilitate that talent to make sure their talent can bloom.
Exactly.
But in that facilitation it also entails like financial stability. Mm-hmm. And that's where the label comes in. Also, it gives you how do you
The
call it?
funds.
The funds
Yeah, they
to
give you
live,
the
to
guala.
be yourself, to maybe do in some investments, and then you can just be you and do your thing. But at the end, that investment has to come back.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
doesn't necessarily has to, but
They say record deals are just loans, and that's why a lot of artists are just doing it themselves now. Because it's like I would just rather ship this away for some years and then just get it out of the way.
yeah. But when you, as an artist, do it yourself, then you have to get creative because you don't have like most of us don't have like $250,000 just lying around.
No.
So, you have to like that's a good house maybe $250,000.
Yeah.
So
hell yeah, it's a nice ass house.
yeah. So you try to cut corners, maybe get creative there, which is good, which is also entrepreneurship.
Yep.
And you got to work.
On
So
the
you
side,
got to make money
you gotta hustle,
somewhere.
You got to hustle.
Yeah, and that's time away from you being a free-minded artist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My music tends to get very, I don't know. If you got to take that, then.
No, it's okay.
My music tends to get very formulaic, if I work too hard. So when I told you when you came in, today's my music day.
Yeah.
I try to just make music.
Just be creative on this day.
Yeah, just be
I
creative.
like that.
And that is very rigid way of going about with creativity. But for me, it works. But not for everybody.
Yeah.
Some people just, when they have one job a week, they go crazy. And that's not to say that they're lazy, but it's just they work different.
Yeah, everybody's got their own way of getting it out. Because
Yeah.
me personally, I just wake up like, all right, it's 9 o'clock. I should probably go to the studio.
Yeah.
But cool. We're gonna wrap this thing up because I realized my parking meter ran out about an hour ago.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
It was great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Let's hope the ladies fighting the corona somewhere chilling.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's hope.
Shout out to Nijmegen if you haven't given me a ticket on this. But I want you to, because like I said, I think what you do in the organizations that you're a part of are really important. Just give the young people coming up like one final tip, like, especially around Gelderland, like if they want to be a musician, like what's some things they can look out for to find funding or just a good way to start?
Well, you could also, like, first of all, a shameless plug is just holla at me. Holla at Tony, maybe.
Yeah. I'll have your social Instagram on the bottom.
So check the link down in the description.
Yeah.
And we could always talk, we could always talk, and I could show you, like, some of the funds that are available for young upcoming musicians in the Netherlands. And, we just advise you. And if I don't advise you, we could always find somebody else that can advise you over the certain questions you have. We have a big network in stages, big network in production, like studios and rehearsal rooms and all those things. So just stay in touch if you have questions about that. And another tip is, for me, get involved. Like, also get involved politically. Be that guy, be that girl that just has ideas, and just say it, man. Because it's your stage right now. Yeah. If you don't claim that stage, somebody else will. Ooh. And another paradigm will continue to stay.
Competition. Nice.
And that's my 2 cents.
Well, cool, man. It's been excellent talking with you. Like, it's been really informative. I wish that we had more time to get some shit out. But
man, next time.
Yeah, exactly. Next time we'll figure out another appointment for that. But hey, we're gonna slide. I'm gonna go collect my dog from these Dutch women, and I'm gonna hope there's not a ticket on my car. So we'll fuck with y'all later. 1st and the 15th.
I highly doubt it. Blow.
Yeah.